Man United have done Liverpool a massive favour. The title parade is going to hit the streets of Liverpool very, very soon. Welcome to the corner flag. I'm Amog.
I'm not yet optimistic, but my name is Mukesh.
When are you going to be optimistic, Mukesh? Like, it is now all done and dusted, signed, sealed, delivered. हो गया अभी Liverpool जीत गया title, bro.
No, it's when the maths tells me. I only believe the maths.
You
Nothing
only
else.
believe. Listen,
It's five wins and a draw.
maths is one thing. The inevitability of Arsenal bottling it is another.
You're saying that's more short than maths?
Yeah, if history has taught us anything, then Arsenal bottling the league is clear. You should have accepted the league title the minute you realized that Man City were not in it and your biggest contenders were Arsenal. I think that was
Um,
the point when you should have been like, "Ha, title apna hai."
no, no. We twice bitten, thrice bitten, too shy.
But you
Thrice
have
bitten,
been
too shy.
bitten by Pep Guardiola and Manchester City.
No, but I think that's the thing with trauma, dude. It doesn't matter. Everyone appears like a monster.
That's true. That's true.
So, but no, but it is good. Thank you. Wow. The fact that United docked points of uh, Arsenal so that Liverpool could get ahead, incredible.
Just goes to prove that the league is not fixed.
Yeah, script writers be scripting, yo.
But Mukesh, you are in Hyderabad right now, which is fantastic. You have just woken up as well.
Yes.
You're enjoying life in your hometown. I can see
No, no.
you're not
I'm
enjoying it at
finding
all.
it not at all. I'm finding it very hard to find a house in Bombay. Bombay. Every time Bombay, I come to, I make peace with Bombay, and I'm like, it gives me a new challenge with the housing market.
Yeah, that
Um,
that is the state of the housing market in Bombay to begin with. No, like that is
yeah,
just what it is. But
yeah.
also, we have to start the show with a very very interesting piece of news, right? I don't know if you realize this, but for the listeners and the viewers, we typically record Monday nights to release on Tuesdays. So we were supposed to record yesterday, which is a Monday night, but unfortunately we had prior commitments, so we couldn't. So now we are recording Tuesday morning, and the episode will be out later today. But what that means is today, Tuesday, is the 11th of March. Mukesh, do you know what the 11th of March is?
11/3/2025. Is there
Yes,
some?
well, as a strong believer of numbers and maths, you have got that absolutely fucking spot on. Well done. पर नहीं यार 11th of March फुटबॉलिंग कम्युनिटी में बहुत ही important डेट है.
Is that the one the first episode of Call of Flag came out?
No, Ray, it's not that important. Who knows when the first episode of the Corner Flag came out? It's been way too long. I don't keep track of all that nonsense. Come on, think. I'll give you one. I'll give you one more guess. Chal.
11/3/2025. 11, March 11th.
March 11th. Just take a guess, dude. Just take a guess. It's a momentous occasion, and it has played exactly how we knew it would play out. Come on, Akash. Akash, I'm saying, come on, Mukesh.
Oh,
But there's a slight hint there as well because this is something that Akash loves to talk about, and I'll make it easier for you. It's nothing Everton related.
oh March 11th, what happened? Some Kandi Rona he'll be doing. What is
Come on.
happening?
Think, make a guess, yaar. Make a guess. Make like the
Okay,
most ridiculous guess that you can make.
is this when Liverpool last won the title or something?
Nothing to do with the Premier League. Chal, I'll give you one more guess because now I've given you one more hint. Nothing to do with the Premier League. Come on, quickly.
Is I don't know. I'm trying to.
The
Is this
listeners are listening, the watchers are watching.
is this when Corner Flag recorded its last episode with Akash?
No, man. Chalo,
What is it?
shall I tell you?
Please do tell me. I'm dying actually.
11th March is the day of Neymar's sister's birthday. Today is Neymar's sister's birthday, and exactly according to type, a few days ago, Neymar did pull out injured from a game for Santos. He released a statement. I really, really wanted to help the team, but I felt some pain and I
Oh,
couldn't. Just a vague fucking injury. I felt some pain in my pants for my sister.
oh, weird, weird, Neymar. So this episode is really a tribute to that sentiment of his, isn't it?
No, no, no. It's not. We don't have
Okay.
sisters that we are
No,
unhealthily
yeah.
attracted to. Exactly. Exactly. Let me please make that very, very clear for everybody who's watching. हम लोग वैसा नहीं है.
Weirdo Amog.
No, I'm not. I'm not. I'm saying we are not those weirdos.
Weirdo Amog needing to clarify weird things.
Yeah. What are you looking for?
I'm looking for is it actually her birthday?
You don't believe me? It is true. All right. It is very, very true. It is real. It is Rafaela Santos's birthday. And Neymar, who's currently playing for Santos, has pulled out injured. Now, the other thing about Neymar, before we get into the Premier League chat, is Neymar also told Barcelona that he is willing to change his social life, his party boy lifestyle, his antics off the pitch to secure a move back to Barcelona.
Oh wow, that's high hopes. Man,
That
he's
is
probably fucking hating life.
but that's the thing, right? Like, I don't know what the thing is. Why is he hating life when he is in the twilight of his career back home at Santos, where he grew up, where he has a mansion which has a private beach and a private nightclub. He has a nightclub in his house. You're talking about property issues in Bombay. Uska prime property है Brazil में. Why does he want to let go of that to go to Barcelona?
Um, I think because nothing really beats uh, hanging out with Lamine Yamal and doing a rondos with him.
No, I feel like he pulled out of the Santos game injured in preparation for his sister's birthday, and then he had a chat with his sister where I think finally the sister was like, "Bro, shut the fuck up! What the fuck are you doing?" And that has been the wake up call that Neymar needed to go back.
Yeah.
Be like, "Boss, I'm a football player. Please, Barcelona, take me back. I'll stop. I'll stop making eyes at my sister. I'll stop being injured whenever it's her birthday. But please let me come back."
But would you take him back at Barcelona if you were Barcelona?
I mean, I don't care, but with the way Barcelona are going, I think they'll take anybody back.
No, I think I would take him as assistant coach or something. Like I feel
What
like
Neymar as a coach is not really a like, nahi yaar. Like, see, there are some players who can become coaches. Most players, unfortunately, cannot become coaches.
Hmm.
Especially, I feel like the really top players, no, the mercurial elite level talents, no. I don't think they have it in them to coach. Like, I can't see Cristiano Ronaldo being a coach. And
In
I don't
fact,
think
I feel like I can see Ronaldo becoming a coach. I
no,
can't see Messi becoming a coach.
I can't see either of them becoming a coach because, see, firstly,
Okay, Amog,
Ronaldo.
lifetime bet, lifetime bet. I feel like Ronaldo's actually going to be a coach who wins something big. Now, it could be a
What do
Champions
you
League, it could be a World Cup,
what do you want to bet?
it could be any of the top five leagues. I feel like,
What do
yeah,
you
yeah,
want to bet?
10,000 rupees accounted for inflation for whenever it comes true.
10,000 rupees accounting for inflation, right?
And if it doesn't happen in Ronaldo's lifetime, then it's paid. And if you're not alive, then I'll pay it to your successor.
Okay. Bet done. Hands
Bet
up.
done.
Spit
Hands
bet.
up. Bet.
Whatever. Ha,
Yeah.
cool. Done.
Done.
Now I'd like to tell you that Ronaldo has said that he doesn't see himself as a coach. He'd rather own a football team. So starts.
Whatever. Are
No, no,
I'm
no,
saying
no,
is
no,
that
no, no,
shut up.
no, no,
Now
no,
whatever
no,
it's in that
no,
capacity.
no,
Now I don't
no,
do.
no, no,
No, no,
no.
no. It's
You
in that
cannot, you
capacity.
cannot say whatever because a
No,
coach
no,
and an
no.
owner
This
are
was this.
completely
No, no,
different
no, no. This
things.
is his team. His team. A team molded in his image. That's what I
No,
meant.
no,
I'm
no.
don't be a
That's
loser
not.
about this.
That's
Don't be a
not what.
loser about
No,
this.
that's not
Don't be
what you
like,
meant.
haha, how do I quickly make 10,000 rupees?
I,
Haha.
but you walked into it. Listen, you said, and
No,
our
I'll
listeners
tell you
can.
what. Yeah,
Everybody
our
who's watching, you
viewers,
can also comment and let us know if I am right or if Mukesh is right. A
I
coach and
am
an
right.
owner are not the same thing.
It's, I mean, a team molded in Ronaldo's
A
image.
team molded in Ronaldo's image is not going to be able to happen even when he's an owner. He's going to fucking invest money into a club that needs
No, yeah,
investment,
but
and then that's
Ronaldo has too
going to be
strong a
it.
personality, and he's going
No,
to bring the
Ray.
big cup.
No, no, that is not true. I
You
want
know what?
to
I am
know.
more sure of that happening than Liverpool winning the cup this season. Premier
No,
League, I say.
I desperately want our viewers to tell me that I am right. Tell me that Mukesh is wrong
I
and tell
want
me
our
why.
viewers to tell, our listeners to tell me that Amok is being a cheapo loophole guy,
Cheapo loophole guy? What the fuck is cheapo loophole guy?
which is you're
What?
wrong basically.
No, I'm sorry. Owners and coaches are not the same thing. You specifically mentioned coach, and that's it.
You're not getting a 10,000 if that's what this is all a ploy to get that 10,000. You're not getting it anytime soon.
All right. Anyway, that's besides the point. We have done enough introductory bakchodi to start off this episode. Let's get into the meat of the things because Premier League action was great this weekend as always. Man City losing to Nottingham Forest, Newcastle in the late Monday night fixture, also getting into the top six after beating West Ham 1-0. But the big result, of course, was Manchester United 1, Arsenal 1, and that's where we begin. I told Akarsh, and I was also on another channel on Saturday called Football Banter X. It was a lovely chat. Check out that channel also, guys. Where I told those boys as well that I feel like it's going to be a 1-1 draw. And fucking guess what?
I know you won't believe me, but I swear I also told a friend it's going to look like a 1-all draw.
I'm telling you, Mukesh, I think we should start betting.
We, I mean, I clearly shouldn't, considering what I walked into 10 minutes ago, but
Yeah,
maybe you
yeah.
should.
No, no,
I feel
but
like you should bet and I will guide you from the side.
no, no, I don't need your guidance. I think we can both start betting and get into it because
Hmm.
I am currently on this fine Tuesday morning. Apparently, I am really interested in making a quick buck. So that seems to be
Whether
the
it's of
theme.
friends or foes, you don't care. You just
Friends,
want
foes,
the buck.
strangers, whatever.
Yeah.
But it did have like a vibe of 1-1 written all over it because
Yeah.
I knew for a fact that Arsenal were not going to beat United at Old Trafford because if there's one thing that has been certain this season, regardless of all the shit performances, is that Man United, when it comes to a rival, like a big team rival, they up their game and they suddenly become a different team altogether. And
Yeah.
we saw that. We saw that in this game as well.
I do for sure. I think also given for me my giveaway that there was going to be draw was that, see, I knew with the way Ruben Amirim is going to set up, it is fucking 7-0. It's three for three at the back and four in the middle is a lie. It's basically seven at the back for him.
Yeah.
So I knew there's no chance Arsenal going to score more than one. If
Yeah.
at all, they'll probably score zero. And my thing was Amirim was only going to just wait for that one lucky nick. That was his whole bet. He said, I'm not going to let them score. So yeah, I think they would. Arsenal definitely didn't have the capacity to score more than one, and I actually thought like I didn't expect a Fernandes free kick, like some sexy Beckham style free kick. I didn't expect, but I thought Garnacho might like nick one in a streaky like run or an error in defense. So yeah, I was like it's either 1-0 to Arsenal or 1-all, and more likely 1-all because Arsenal aren't as clinical at the back as I think
Yeah,
they're giving
but
credit for.
and also because Arsenal have a real crisis in front of goal.
Exactly, exactly.
Everybody that could fit that striker's role is injured for them. Jesus is out injured. Havertz is out injured. They're having to play with Mikel Merino up front, right?
Yeah.
And
I
he,
mean, I mean, they have Sterling, and Raheem Sterling is the Gabriel Jesus of Man City. It's like he's there, but no one really counts him as a
I mean,
as
he
such.
there was a great stat that the commentators pulled out. No, Raheem Sterling has played against Manchester United, I think, some 27 times, and he has never scored.
Oh
So
damn!
yeah, so for all his exploits and a fantastic player for Man City and even for Liverpool where he started out, fantastic player, but he is not the same player anymore. He is getting older. His body can't do the things that it once used to be able to do, and his powers are very, very obviously waning. So he cannot be considered as an impact sub against big teams either. I know I'm jumping the gun by calling United a big team, but yes, the idea of Manchester United is still a
Amok,
big team.
don't jump the guns that I want to jump, not you.
No, but so the attacking crisis, the striker crisis that Arsenal are going through has definitely derailed their season a little bit. And instead of buying strikers, they end up buying more defenders. So now with the new director of football that they've signed from Atletico Madrid, maybe that will change for next season. But it just did not seem like Arsenal had a plan to beat low blocks.
Yeah, I also I'm sorry. I do feel like the only way to beat Amberim's seven-man defense is to take shots from far off, which is what sort of Declan Rice did, right?
Hmm.
But I feel like that sort of instinct never kicked into Arsenal. Just to take a lot of shots from outside the box, because I
Yeah,
do think I think the XG was also very similar. It's not Arsenal wasn't too far ahead in terms of XG,
yeah.
and in fact they probably converted a slightly lower XG chance uh, rather than something that was like clear. And they missed. I think Trossard I saw miss quite a big chance,
Yeah.
right? And then even on the other end, David Raya had to do some crazy shit.
No,
Uh,
but that's the thing, right? Because Arsenal did have a lot of chances on goal, but they were just not able to hit the target. Merino had a chance, Trossard had a chance. They were just unable to hit the target as efficiently as they would have liked, and get Onana to do some work, and that wasn't working out for them. Their corners didn't really end up hurting Man United either, and corners are the one thing that Arsenal have been really, really good at this season. They've scored so many more goals from corners. I think they're leading the tables in that particular stat. But again, every elaborate corner routine that Arsenal tried to do in this game, Onana and the United defense were up for it. So they knew exactly what Arsenal were going to do, and they had a plan for it. Uh,
Also, the problem with the corner routine, I think it worked in the first half of the season when they took the
yeah,
teams by shock and all.
yeah.
And
Now
now
they've
I
been
think
found out.
everyone's,
They've been found
even
out.
if you haven't figured it out, you you know how to work around it,
Yeah,
right? You know how to position yourself to nullify it.
yeah,
So I think the fact that they don't have a plan B, or the fact that hey, this corner routine could be a 38 game plan as opposed to a 19 game plan, which I
yeah,
think reeks of
yeah.
inexperience.
Yeah. So on the other end, right? If you look at it from the United point of view, I thought this performance was genuinely good in the sense
Yeah.
that the team looked like they knew what the plan was and they knew how to execute that plan, which is something that has been missing a lot this season from this United squad. But this time around for this game, they knew what the plan was and they executed it perfectly. And I feel like United could have come away with all 3 points if it wasn't for David Raya because he made
Yeah.
some spectacular saves. Josh Xerxes' backward flick would have been a great goal, but again, Raya's positioning was great on that one. I think there
The
was one.
final minute diving save to parry the ball to the side. Oof.
Yeah,
I think he's
fantastic.
diving
Like,
backwards also. That was
yeah,
a
and Raya was in top form, absolute top form,
yeah.
except for the free kick when his positioning was completely atrocious.
Which I don't know if that was part of the. That seems like a like they tried that, like like in the sense that they would that seems like an instruction that hey, if Fernandez is taking a corner, you stay one side, lure him into taking a definite shot, and then you go for it. Because I doubt David Raya could have, especially given his game awareness the rest of the game, I doubt he could have. He really has such bad instinctive positioning. It really felt like he was clearly instructed to do that.
But so my question is this, right? And we have seen how free kicks have evolved over the times. Like I remember back in the day, when you didn't have the draft excluder or any of those sort of, or the second wall or the offensive wall or any of those like nonsense things. You basically just had a defensive wall and that was it. And typically, what used to happen was the side of the goal that the wall is placed in front of, the other side is covered by the keeper. So in theory, the entire goal is kind of covered. But now, as the game evolves, what I've been noticing is, regardless of the wall, the keeper's usually positioned in the middle of the goal, so that regardless of which direction the striker decides to put the ball in, the keeper has enough
Yeah.
momentum to go either way, left or right. And to then see Raya stand completely towards the right hand side of his goal seemed a little odd to me, because he should have still moved slightly towards the center at the start.
Yeah, so which is all the more reason I feel like it was a clear instruction. It was a very clear managerial coaching instruction given to him that in the case of a Bruno Fernandes free kick, and I'm guessing Bruno Fernandes is the only person in the United team against whose free kicks you probably practice and you sort of have a plan for it, right? But at the end of the day, it was still a great free kick. It was like pretty perfect, and as far as free kicks go. So maybe I think Raya's getting a bit too much slack for it. I would probably give it to the coaching team for
So
coming up.
basically, what you're saying is Arteta is shit.
I am kind of saying Arteta shit.
But on a serious note, isn't he though? Because like, what has he done in 5 years? Like, let's be honest, Arsenal fans. You talk about Mikel Arteta being this great young coach who has changed the cultures at Man United. What does he have to show for it? Like, I'm not denying the fact that Arsenal's culture has changed. Like, this does look like a far more potent Arsenal team than we have seen under Emery, under final years of Wenger, for sure. But what do you have to show for it? Because here you have Arne Slot, who has come into his first season at Liverpool
And
as
he's not
as
done
a
anything.
as a relative unknown, and but he's on his way to win his first Premier League title. Let's be very very clear. He is going to win
No,
a Premier League title in his debut
no,
season in the Premier League, and he possibly could
nonsense,
even win the Champions League.
nonsense, nonsense. He's not even on the Kali Cup. No, but honestly, in seriousness, so I think it's a weird thing. How would you judge? I think it's also up to each person, right? I think how you judge Arteta in terms of like there is a very strong case to be made for that Eric Ten Hag is probably a better coach than Arteta if just by looking at cups. So I think how you judge Arteta probably says more about you. That would you take consistently coming second, right? And consistently, I think this is the first time they've reached back-to-back quarterfinals in Champions League. But again, in 21 years, They've not won the league. They've not won the Champions League. I don't know. I think it says more about the kind of person that you are. That if you think this is okay, and it's fine if you think it's okay, which I don't think it's okay, because you need to be having trophies. You need to be having making statement wins, or you need to have these rousing. Even if okay, I'm not even discounting Carling Cup, FA Cups as small cups, right? Even if you do win them, there needs to be some statement to win them. Either you rout a team in the final or you come back. I think they're not able to produce those talismanic figures or whatever, right? Like when you think of United era, the multiple eras under Ferguson, you have certain players that you think of, each of them. Even Wenger had certain players who immediately come to mind, like you had Henry who comes to mind, right? You have Roy Keane who comes to mind. And when you think of Klopp, Sarah, you know Van Dijk comes to mind, you know Salah comes to mind. But I feel like Arteta's problem is that he's not able to inspire such leaders. I think maybe Declan Rice was supposed to be that sort of signing, but clearly he's not he doesn't have that uh, just that brute force leadership quality. Like he's a great player maybe, but he's not that level of. He's a leader among boys, but not really a leader among the men that you really need to be to win the Premier League or challenge for the big trophies. Does that make sense?
I mean, kind of, but he was showing his leadership qualities when he equalized and went to the Stratford end to shush the United crowd. I was
Yeah,
like, you're getting a draw at 15th place Old Trafford when you've bottled the title, dude. Like, just thoda self
exactly, exactly.
awareness.
Darwin Nunes didn't celebrate. He scored that first goal against Southampton, and he said immediately said rushed like he did one, hey, and he rushed back. He's saying, "Let's go, we have to win the game, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
there's a game to be won."
I
So
think that is the difference in mentality that Arteta has still not managed to inculcate in this squad. Like, for
exactly,
all the culture that he has changed in the club, the way his players react to certain situations in games is still a little bit lacking, I feel like. And I'm not going to be celebration police here. I don't want to be that either, because there have been a lot of instances of celebration police policing Arsenal's celebrations. But the fact of the matter is, if you are a team that is hungry for titles, that is desperate to be champions, you have to act like that, right?
Yes.
You have to act like a victory is routine, and anything apart from that is not good enough. So yeah, you will have that emotion when you equalize in a tough game, but there is also a way where you show that emotion. Like shushing the crowd and all is not really going to get you anything. It's if anything, it's going to fire up the opposition team and fans more to try and win the game from you, which they could have had it not been for your
Yeah,
goalkeeper.
which he almost did. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I do feel like now Arteta is clearly one, which I know is a big ask, but I think he's one leader shot. It's not Odegaard is not the captain. I don't know. I mean, uh, he's not. You can't have an like even Jordan Henderson brought something to a team, which
Yeah,
is he was the guy who turned up on time. He was the guy who had all the dirty conversation. He was the guy who did the dirtiest amount of work,
yeah.
right? But Odegaard is not that guy. Declan Rice is clearly. I definitely don't think Declan Rice is proving to be
But
that guy.
why do you feel Odegaard is not that guy? Because he seems like a fairly calm
I think
captain.
that's what he is. He doesn't have that extra bite that you need to have as a that extra that thing that riles up a team, that rouses a team, that no matter what situation he's going to
Hmm.
the guy who yells at a team when they're getting completion, the guy who makes sure that when they're losing 1-0, that he's the guy who says something that gets the team going to trying for a 2-1, right? He doesn't seem to be that guy. He seems to be a much softer player. He seems to be maybe he's not having the best of his season, but he seems to be a good player, a great player, but uh, he doesn't seem to be that guy. Like I said, when Roy Keane came, it gave a boost to United from 20 years ago,
Hmm.
right? The presence of Henry did something. The presence of Van Dijk did something, right? John Terry did something at Chelsea, right? Like fucking Wes Morgan at Leicester City, right? When they won, he was a fucking champion. Like he held that team together. Like, I can't see that sort of a player at Arsenal.
Right.
And I think the bet was that Arteta in 3 years would develop someone like that, but that
Yeah.
also seems to have gone missing.
Yeah, yeah, right. From United Arsenal, let's go to Liverpool Southampton. Southampton giving Liverpool a bit of a scare with small bones opening goal. Southampton leading 1-0 against Liverpool when our phones went off with that notification. Everybody was just like, "What the fuck is happening? Is this is this is this going to be the second defeat that Liverpool get this season against Southampton of all teams?" Like, if for a close to perfect season that Liverpool have had, the second
Yeah.
blemish being Southampton would have just been so ironic.
And they're separated by 50 points. They're separated by some 50 plus points. 50 plus points is like a season. It's a mid-table season. No, I think so. Someone pointed out that every season,
Yeah.
right? Every season, Van Dijk and Allison have one like dumb fuck moment,
Yeah.
right? They have it. They have it. It happens. And they're like, okay, at least thank God it was against Southampton and it was something you could overcome. It wasn't like previously it's happened against City, it happens against United,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? No, at least now it happened against Southampton. You got away with that dumb fuck moment, and that too, like you had all that nazar after that PSG game. So I think it was that. I think that they were clearly just sleepwalking through the first half.
Yeah.
They were they clearly under. I mean, Southampton is worthy of underestimation, but there is clearly a bar for that. But they went even below that bar in terms of underestimating Southampton, and that was the result of that. And then they just woke up, okay, saying, guys, I think Slot said after post match that I can definitely tell you that I didn't compliment them at the halftime talk. So
No, but now the question I want to ask you is this: like, do you think it was them underestimating Southampton, or do you think it was Arne Slot just trying to pull a Pep Guardiola thing? Like, how can we make this difficult for us? Like, we know we're running away with the title. We know it's all done and dusted. Now we have Southampton coming, bottom of the league, definitely going to be relegated. थोड़ा गांड मस्ती करते ना उनको थोड़ा होप देते like just like that devilish thing like oh here you go you could
yeah,
get 3
you could
points.
boo.
But yeah, you think maybe it was that, you think Slot is that kind of a
Yeah,
manager?
I think maybe that's his approach going to be. It's only one half. It's going to be a boo, and the second half is like it's like guys to make it hard for ourselves. We'll only play 45 minutes of good football, and
Yeah,
then we see how much we can score in that. No, please don't even say that. Nothing.
no,
I'm okay.
nothing.
Just be if it does happen that Liverpool win the title, for all my dabawness right now, I'm going to be insufferable.
Yeah, we're not going to release episodes of the Corner Flag when Liverpool win the title, right? Like we are going to go an extended break for 3 4 weeks, or I'm going to record without telling you. So I'll just get some other people to come and record who are not Liverpool fans, and we'll just
Or
pretend. We'll
do this
pretend like this league victory did not happen.
no, you do one thing, you record and you go. You go make coffee, come back, talk. I just keep talking
Yeah.
with it.
Yeah, we can do that. Nottingham Forest beat Man City 1-0. Fantastic result for Nottingham Forest. It keeps them in third place, just 4 points behind Arsenal. Uh, Man City, if they would have beaten Nottingham Forest, would have leapfrogged them into third or fourth place, but that has not happened. Is the season's pretty much over for Guardiola, isn't it?
I mean, I think, like he said, I think Champions League spot is probably he would probably comfortably hold on to it. I'm really excited that Nottingham Forest is back in the Champions League. Just shows to tell you that if you really work hard, you get a good manager, and you spend about a 500 million pounds,
Yeah,
you'll eventually make it to the
yeah,
Champions League.
yeah. Like it is Nottingham Forest's full high risk, high reward strategy because they have burnt money that they didn't have. They've taken points reductions, PSR violations, and they've come out of that and saying, "Huh." But at the end of it, we've still
We
managed
still made
to.
it. We've beaten the big boys. Um, we made it. Yeah, I think high risk, high reward, but also like in a way, like there must be at least 10 Nottingham Forest fans who probably remember the glory days.
Hmm.
But like, wow, man, no, it's another feeling to take a new team like a Wrexham, which has nothing,
Yeah,
up, like, or a Man City,
yeah.
or even Wrexham, which has nothing, and then take them to sing. But to bring glory back to a place, I feel like, wow,
To bring glory back to a place that has not seen glory in so long. Like that
in
is it's
generations,
the
yeah.
same kind of story with Nottingham Forest and Aston Villa as well. Aston Villa also getting a 1-0 victory over Brentford is good for their season. They're currently in eighth, but in the running for a deep run in the Champions League. Like let's be honest, realistically, Aston Villa are not going to win the Champions League this season. But fuck, what a run they're having!
What a run they're having. Yeah, and if they get Conference League or something, Europa, good for them. Like it,
Yeah, consistently staying in Europe, even if it's not the Champions League, should be a realistic target that Aston Villa can achieve. And honestly, going off of this season, I know this season has been a bit of a flash in the pan season for Nottingham Forest, but if they can build on this, if they if they can sustain a decent Premier League showing next season with the added European fixtures,
and spend
it would
another
be
like at least 200 million in the summer, which I'm sure they can actually. Which
yeah,
they look like they can.
yeah, yeah. It'll be
Uh, I think they can just probably kick Tottenham out and cement that place in the new Big Six.
in the new Big Six. Lastly, before we wrap up this episode, Tottenham 2, Bournemouth 2. What a fucking fantastic game.
What a fantastic game! But I'm sorry, I just felt that game, and I actually saw the game because it's what I used to do in Hyderabad.
Yeah.
But I felt bad for Son. It really showed me he looks done. He looks this is probably his last good competitive season. Next season on he's going to be at best a substitute who comes on,
Yeah.
or he's going to play 12 games injured for the rest of the season, right? To go out without any trophy, to go out without any meaningful cup, man, that's a pity. Like a South Korean player of his stature should have had something to show for his skill and time, and like if he had won a medal of some worth, then it could have really done something to South Korean football. But I don't know. I think with the whole game I was seeing this so tragic. I know he scored the final goal, but
Hmm.
the whole game I really just saw Son as this tragic figure.
Yeah, but that's the thing, right? Like he is somebody who's really towards the end of his absolute powers, right? Like he's still a very, very good player, no doubt. And he
No
still has a
man,
lot to
nothing.
offer, but
Oh
he is
really?
not
I
the
still feel like he has nothing. Like
No, I feel
Legs
like
are done. It look like this game proved to me that his legs are gone.
yeah.
Like he's done for like this is it. This I don't think unless
I'll
he has
I'll
some Wataru Endo type career.
I'll tell you what it is, right? I feel I don't disagree with you when you say that his legs are done. Like he is definitely towards the end of his powers. He is not the same Son that we have seen light the Premier League up in recent seasons. He's not that player anymore. He cannot do that anymore. But I feel like a lot of it also has to do with the way Tottenham's season has gone this season. For a player like
No,
him, no, for a player like him, if the rest of the team is not doing well and is so dragged down, like this is possibly one of the worst seasons Spurs have had, right? Like they are right down with Man United in the bottom of the table. Like let me just check exactly where they are in the league table
the
right now. They are
13th, I think.
13th. They're
Yeah,
they're one place above Man United, same points, 34. That's not good for a team like Spurs. That's not good for a player like Son. And I feel like all of that also plays a part where the motivation just goes, where you're like,
yeah,
fuck,
yeah.
yaar, kya aa raha hai? Nothing, like nothing we are doing seems to be working out. We have so many injuries. Key players are out for extended periods of time. We are not able to win the games that we should be comfortably winning. It just seems like a very, very bad place to be. However, if let's say let's write this season off, right? Like there's what 10 games, 9 games left. Season's as good as done. They're not really going to get anything meaningful from this season. Next season, depending whether it's Ange or if there's a new manager that comes in, let's consider for a fact that maybe whoever it is, maybe it could even be Ange, really turns the fortunes of this club around. And all they do is they get one talismanic player, right? Like they lost Harry Kane, and Son's best years were when he was playing in tandem with Harry Kane.
Yeah.
That partnership was really, really good. Like everything Son was creating, Kane was finishing off, and that builds the motivation. They haven't really replaced Kane. They've got Solanke, but he's not that level of
Yeah,
player,
yeah.
right?
In
If
fact,
they if
Son is
they
supposed to be the Kane. Yeah,
Son would have or should have been the successor to Kane's legacy. But let's say they get a young player who can be that. All right. Case in point. Chalo. Hypothetically speaking, let's say they get Victor Osimhen. Now, Victor Osimhen is young. He is a lethal force in front of goal. A player like that to play with Heung-min Son is going to motivate Son even more. Like the morale is going to go up more, and he'll find a little bit of energy in his dying legs. I feel to still give something to this club. But
oh,
if
I
at
agree.
this point in his career you expect him to be the main guy, you're looking for failure. That's not going to happen. He's just not. He's not in the state to do that.
I mean, I think his best bet is like to pull off a Wataru Endo and then be like go to a PSG or a Bayern as a super sub sort of player,
Yeah,
where you're guaranteed you're pretty much guaranteed a
a
winners
title.
medal,
Yeah,
and I think that's probably it. And the, or also play under reasonably good managers, especially like
yeah.
Luis Enrique is of course fantastic. Companies,
I
but
love
how
I love how in this analogy you said be a Wataru Endo type of player because he was guaranteed a medal when he came to Liverpool. That's the assumption that you're trying to make, right?
he was guaranteed
Yeah,
a trophy. I'm sure he'll win a trophy.
exactly. So
A
you're
trophy
you're
could be
you're
anything. It could be Carling
you're
Cup.
you're
Could be a
basically
Carling Cup.
going back to what you said you are not going to do, where the maths doesn't lie. Like, huh, but he's guaranteed a trophy here. इधर तो हो
No,
गया.
see, it could be a Carling Cup. I think Slot is good enough that in the next 3 years he'll win at least one Carling Cup every cup.
He's winning the
That's
Premier
the man.
League, Mukesh. He's winning the Premier League.
I don't know
We
what
have
you're
all
talking
come to
about.
terms with it. I think it's time. With
I don't know
28
what.
games done, with 28 games done, with Liverpool going the way they're going, and with Liverpool, what, 15 points ahead
Yeah.
at the top of the table? 70 points for Liverpool, 55 points for Arsenal. Oh, but with a game in hand for Arsenal, like that fucking matters. Please admit that Liverpool are winning the Premier League. Just
No.
just it's about time. It's about
No.
time.
Until it's not done until it's.
It's not
Done.
all right. Fine, fine. But on that note, it is time to end this episode. Thank you so much, everybody, for listening and watching the Corner Flag. If you'd like to get in touch with us and tell us what you thought, you can reach us on our social media. You can find Mukesh on Instagram at
Mukesh Manjunath.
and you can find me on Instagram at Abugrandive. You can also follow the Corner Flag on Instagram at the rate Corner Flag Pod. Do subscribe to our YouTube channel where you are watching this right now. If you are doing that, then just hit the subscribe button. Or if you are watching it or listening to it on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, subscribe to us there and then also subscribe to us on YouTube because that helps the show a lot. Shout out to Kazad Gurda for composing our theme tune. And until next week, it is goodbye from us. So say bye, Mukesh.
Bye, guys.
And it's bye from me.